Good evening, brothers. JK, your brother in this struggle here. Welcome to another episode of Porn Reboot Coach in the Porsche. Today, we're going to be answering a question about escorts, prostitutes, and sex workers. Like, have you ever found yourself wondering or even engaging in this behavior where you're like, you know what, I'm trying to end my out of control behavior, but the process of gaining intimacy with women, the process of dating, whether it's using an app, whether it's meeting women in person, whether it's going to a bar or a lounge, I find myself spending so much energy on that, and my emotions are so out of control with dealing with rejection and attraction and intimacy that I end up slipping and relapsing. And I feel that one of the easiest ways for me to fix this problem is to just pay for sex in order to make it easily accessible. Others think that it's a legitimate way to practice intimacy. So that's what we're going to be talking about briefly today. I'm JK Mazy. I'm the founder of Elevated Recovery, head coach of the Porn Reboot coaching system. We're the largest, most successful online porn addiction recovery coaching service in the world. When I say successful, I'm referring to the thousands of clients who have successfully controlled their out of control behavior, particularly with pornography and masturbation. Today, we're answering a question from a brother who basically has been wondering whether he can visit with escorts and prostitutes in order to practice intimacy and kind of overcome some of the strong emotions and the anxiety and so on he feels when he's engaging with women in a dating scenario. Now, there are various reactions to this. I want to make this clear. A lot of the American brothers might be like, oh my God, that's illegal, prostitution, like that's horrible. We're an international company. Some of the brothers who ask this question are from Europe or from countries where prostitution is either legal or visiting sex workers is just a gray area. It's not legal or illegal. It's just a part of that culture. So before you jump on your high horse, for those of you who might feel that way, this is something that brothers legitimately deal with. There are a few problems with that. The first thing is you cannot practice intimacy with a sex worker. It is her job. It is her career. It is her business. She's freelancing or whatever you want to call it. But whatever you think you're getting from her, whether it is sex or whether it is some form of intimacy, she's acting. The sex is real. The intimacy is not. I don't care how intimate you feel with her. Even if there's some guys who are absolutely convinced, especially with higher end escorts, they're absolutely convinced that no, you don't understand. She really likes me. No, she's just really good. What does really good mean? Really good is she can actually allow herself to have some feelings for you. Some tenderness, some like, I like this guy. But the problem is, you are never going to perceive it in the right way because you already starved for intimacy. So you can't tell the difference between that. You take a man who is in a relationship where he's intimate with his partner, where he understands what true intimacy looks like, and you put him in a situation with an escort. Aside from the sex part, he's going to honestly tell you that, there was no intimacy there. Like, yeah, she was hot. There was the novelty aspect of that. She had a different body, different look. It was exciting. But I can tell you for damn sure that there was no intimacy. Brothers who do not have a lot of sexual experience or who are overwhelmed by the prospect of dating, casual dating, I don't care how good you think you are at this or how real it feels or how often she hits you up, or even if you didn't pay one time, right? She's like, no, you're right, I'd pay, I really like you or whatever. It is not real. Point being, you cannot create intimacy when you are visiting with a sex worker. The second problem is that even if you do start meeting with a sex worker, you're not putting in the work that is required. You're taking the shortcut. And this is going to affect your future dating prospects. Why? Well, simply because there's a part of your unconscious mind that's going to feel like, you know what, why should I put in the effort? I get it easily. When I throw a few dollars at a woman, like, she takes everything off for me. And that's going to come up because you're going to develop a sense of entitlement that my money, my resources should buy me sex. And in the real world, a lot of women, most women actually, just don't give a shit. Now, you may not offer them women, but that sense of entitlement is probably going to be there. Finally, if you put yourself in this situation and you start depending on escorts and you have cognitive dissonance, some rationalization or justification for your behavior that has to do with running away from the reality of putting yourself out there to date women, it's going to impact your long-term prospects. And that means that you will keep going back to the easy thing. You will keep falling back on, okay, when things get tough, even if you get into a relationship, the moment that you have an issue in that relationship, instead of resolving the issue and instead of dealing with the strong emotions that come up in that relationship, you will medicate with sex. You may not medicate with pornography, but you will probably medicate with sex and go look for the things you were medicating when you were visiting an escort, a sex worker, whatever you want to call them, prior to being in a relationship. So, gentlemen, do not fool yourselves. I do want to make one thing very clear, though. And what I want to make clear is where I actually stand on sex workers. I am not against sex workers. I think it's very important for me to make this clear, because some brothers think like, oh, because you help men end the out-of-control behavior with pornography, you must be some conservative, Bible-thumping dude who is just like sex workers are evil and prostitutes are bad. No, I'm a realist. I understand that, statistically speaking, the only way some men are ever going to have any sort of sexual encounters is going to be by paying it. And prostitution is apparently the oldest profession in the world. So personally, my view on it is neither good nor bad. It's just neutral. It's a thing. It's there. And I will never be the one to speak out against it. However, for men who are dealing with an out-of-control sexual behavior, for the type of men that are coming through our program, this is not something that you should have in your life, right? Having sex workers, specifically when you are young, and by young, I mean like when you are like from 55 years old down, that should not be an option for you, right? I think you can set up your, I know you can set up your lifestyle in order to have access to the women that you want. I don't care whether you believe it or not. One of the things that we help men do is resolve some of these issues that they have, these beliefs that they have, that man, my only option is going to have to be to go to an escort or to go to a prostitute. Porn Reboot is not just about ending your behavior with porn. We're not going to help you end your behavior with pornography and then just leave you hanging. You're like, dude, but I can't meet women. I don't know how to go out there and develop a marketable skill that's going to improve my financial reboot capital. I don't know how to fix my health, or all the things that you were medicating, the situations such as, let's say, not feeling attractive enough, dealing with a lot of anxiety, experiencing some trauma, having issues in relationships, whether it's interpersonal relationships, romantic relationships. We're going to help you fix those things as well. So that's the reason why I'm addressing this. There's nothing that I address that Porn Reboot does not have the ability to fix. So I want you guys to know that. That's all I have for you guys today. Just wanted to answer that brother's question. I'm JK, your brother in the struggle. Thank you for watching this episode of Porn Reboot Coach in the Porsche. I'll speak to you later on in the week. Bye. Whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways that Porn Reboot can help you out for free. The first way is to subscribe to our channel and make sure you click on the notification bell to get a new video every other day. The second way is to get a copy of the free book, Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. You'll learn about my personal struggle and the lessons I've learned over a decade, as well as strategies for putting together your porn reboot plan and ending your compulsive behavior with pornography or masturbation. So click on the link in the description below this video. The third way is, if you're not sure where to start, but you'd like to learn more about my team and I, if you'd like to spend time with like-minded professionals, entrepreneurs, business owners, guys who work in sales, consulting, or high-level jobs, men who are controlling their behavior, then join our free and confidential group, the Porn Reboot group on Facebook. There's also a link to join in the description below this video. And finally, if you need help right now because you have a burning issue, your behavior with pornography is hurting you mentally, you're about to lose your relationship, you want to live up to your potential, you want to be an authentic man and free yourself from shame, guilt, and underachieving, click on the link in the description below this video that says free coaching call, or visit elevatedrecovery.org and click on the link which says book a call.